everyone, welcome back to Let's Overthink Final Fantasy X. I'm Beth, a fake Geek Girls game, and these are the Thunder Plains. And this is a phobia. You're not going to be able to move on without going in there, I don't think, so you might as well surrender instead of making Riku whine about it for half an hour while everybody else pretends to walk by.
Tired. Do you have a room available?
And even if you could
Lady
walk
Summoner.
by,
Yes,
you don't want to miss
just
these
over that
cutscenes.
way.
So,
Thank you.
Yuna?
It's not like her.
So, while the party isn't entirely aware of
you
what
that
Yuna's
scared?
second agenda is, they're starting to suspect that she has one.
When I was little, a fiend attacked me while I was swimming at the beach. My brother tried to beat it back with a spell. But he missed and hit me instead. It was a thunder spell.
Ouch.
I've been scared of lightning ever since.
That could leave someone with something of a phobia.
It can be effective. Magic is effective against marine fiends.
My brother said that too.
Yeah, well, we can't bring any mages
should
with
learn
us
some spells,
underwater,
too.
so it's all irrelevant.
Maybe later.
Nice to see you again. Welcome to the Rin Travel Agency.
How does he get places so fast?
Oh,
Ixnay on the Albede.
how goes your study of our language? That is good to hear.
Yes,
Allow
I
me
am
to present
studying
you
via
with this
picking
book
up
for
random
your
volumes and somehow just internalizing them thoroughly.
I wonder, would that be Sir Auron by any chance? Ah, as I thought. I've been wondering since I saw him at the Mihen High Road branch.
What's this?
Sir
Backstory?
Auron, I wonder if you remember me. 10 years ago, at the beginning of Lord Braska's calm.
Yes, I should thank you.
Not at all. I could not leave a wounded man to die. However,
This
I
is some
was
of the
surprised
first
when I saw you
information
gone the
about
next morning with that
10
wound.
years ago that we get,
An
really.
ordinary man would not have been able to walk.
And specifically, the very
I'd rather
important
Drop
information
that subject, Rin.
that Auron was extremely badly wounded,
As you wish.
that he disappeared straight away after, and that he doesn't want it talked about.
It's not easy being a guardian to a summoner so young.
I've been
That's true,
scared of
Braska
lightning
never
ever
had these
since.
problems. Braska was a widower and rather beyond all this.
What?
Whose voice is that? Tidus wonders. I know, let's listen at doors.
Whoa!
He's very bad at listening at doors. Don't take up a career in roguery.
Ow. Oh. Yeah, well, it's nothing really. I just,
Who's listening at your door? Sorry.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have come in. Hey, wasn't that Jiskel Guado guy?
And the plot thickens from Tidus's point of view.
The sphere is his will. It says, take care of my son.
She bowdlerizes for the audience.
His son, Seymour? Well, I know one way to take care of him.
The good news, Tidus,
I'm
is that we're
sorry.
going to get to use that way.
Huh?
The bad news is that you have upset Yuna. How could you, sir? And somehow Waka, despite being Waka, is better at stealth.
Yuna was acting funny.
Yeah. She'll
tell us when she's ready, so hold your chocobos till then. Yeah.
All right.
I'm so glad we had this conversation about respecting people's emotional boundaries while putting Tidus in a headlock. Waka is so...
She's not going to move unless we do something.
I'm not sure Auron knows what it is to do.
Shall we go?
It's
Like,
not stopping, is it?
he pretends to know what
Don't
he's
tell me you
doing,
were hoping it
but
would.
actually he has virtually no people skills and has spent
Fine,
10 years in
stay
another
here.
dimension while being dead.
All right already. But you didn't have to say it like that, you know.
And before that he was a warrior
You
monk
could
who
be more
don't have to
comforting
deal
or
with teenage
something.
girls.
You know, try to cheer me up. You just don't get me at all, do you? Hey, are you listening? I'm not scared. I'm not scared, you hear?
Well, whether he intended it to or not, it seems to have worked via making her more angry than she is afraid, which is classic. And a random NPC, or not that random, walks up, takes a photo, conveniently not including the two most important and most inappropriate members of the party, and runs off. Now that is lightning proof, so I'm going to put that on him despite the cost to HP, because being completely immune to lightning damage around here, worth it. Oh, come on, you leisurely cactuar stone. You were glowing 2 seconds ago. I start to walk up to you and you stop glowing. I call that super rude. The most rude. And now we're right back to doing violence to things and vice versa.
Shield us from thunderous bane.
As always in these elemental places, a little help from Yuna can go a long way. Well, that did not work out the way I wanted it to. I wanted to try to get blue, 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 but as you can see, that's not how it ended up happening. Oh well, I did a fair amount of damage to it anyway. Enough that Riku can wander up and just bip it to death. She can end up being a fairly solid physical attacker if you once get her into an area of the sphere grid where she learns that stuff. So as of now, we've got certainly Lulu and Waka who are aware that something is off about Yuna's behavior, and it probably has something to do with Seymour, but they don't know exactly what. And they don't know in any more detail. Other than that there's Yuna stuff going on. Tidus is also aware that there's something odd going on with Yuna, and he knows that she has a sphere of Jiskel Guado saying something, and that it's very important to her, and that she takes some pains to conceal it. since she said that she was tired when she probably was not and went off to listen to it privately. Oh, come on. And that when he tumbled into the room, as soon as she remembered that it was there, she turned it off so he couldn't hear it. These big giants are very nasty stuff. They can, as you can see, take somebody's HP down from full very quickly indeed. And if you're already hurting from a different monster, well, that can be the end of you. Bring the Cactuar Stone again. And I believe that's all the ones we need to do. I'll be checking out any future ones to see if they glow. I'm never sure if it's 3 or 4 that you have to do. So while all this is going on, what do the other people know? Well, how much Riku's gonna notice right now is definitely dubious. She's a little weeny bit distracted. How much Kimari notices is impossible to guess because he doesn't share it with anyone. Ow. Lots of damage there, as you can see, and he was good on health. And Yuna's healing is now inadequate to replace what the armor guy can take away. Iron Giant, if that's what it's called. But then there's Auron, and the thing with Auron is that he kind of has both a altruistic agenda and a much more selfish agenda, because he wants to end the cycle pretty much no matter what it costs. That's what he promised Braska and Jack, that he would find a way to break the cycle. And therefore he needs a summoner who will refuse Yunalesca's deal, and for that he needs Yuna, because she's by far the best shot he has at getting someone to listen to him, and cultivating the relationship between Yuna and Tidus is very much to his advantage because of Tidus's perspective, because Tidus is the only person left who might try to argue her out of doing what she's decided to do. There's also a level on which, as long as Yuna is going ahead with the pilgrimage, it isn't entirely in his interest to try stopping her. Well, the thing isn't gonna let me pray to it while I'm getting struck by lightning, that's for sure. How much Auron is doing anything he does for Yuna's and Tidus' sake is kind of hard to tell, in my opinion. I like to think that he wants what's best for them, but he also wants what's best for Spira, and he wants personal, revenge and emotional catharsis. He wants to save Jecht. He wants to finish what Braska started, all that stuff. Fortunately for us, it doesn't really come down to a conflict between his different agendas at any point. I guess the closest is the conflict between wanting what's best for Tidus and wanting what's best for absolutely everyone else. Because of the whole when we stop dreaming, our dream will disappear thing. I hope you get to see lots of lightning dodging pratfalls. I swear I can do better than this, and I will in the future.
Wait,
What's up?
I have something to tell you.
Here? We're almost out of here. Let's go.
I have to say it now.
She's spent all her time screwing up her courage to say
Over
this.
there.
And if we hold off at all, she'll lose it again and have to start over. There are conversations like that, where you have to work yourself up to having them, and when you're ready, you just have to go.
Somehow, my bad feelings always come true.
I've decided to marry.
I thought so.
Nobody's happy about this.
But why? Why'd you change your mind?
For Spira's future and Yevon's unity. I thought it would be the best thing to do.
That's not good enough.
And it's
Wait,
not
is
true either.
Is it because of Lord Jiskel?
Hey, that's Sphere!
Show me.
I can't. I must speak to Maester Seymour first. I truly am sorry, but it is a personal matter.
No matter how much she
kidding, huh?
respects him, she's decided what she thinks is
As
right,
you
and she's
wish.
not going to back down.
I'm sorry.
Just one thing.
I won't quit my pilgrimage.
Then it is fine.
It's not fine.
Wait
It's
a
not
minute,
remotely
Auron.
fine.
You don't care?
But what
I
it
mean,
means
you're not
is,
gonna
what he
stop her?
means is,
No, I'm
there's
not.
nothing he can do about it.
As long as she is willing to face sin, all else is her concern. That is a summoner's privilege, as long as she journeys.
Translation: if you could get her to stop, then maybe we could
But
get this out of
that's-
her, but by law and custom and that fabled tradition, there's a limit to how far they
Yuna,
can push
just
her.
one question.
And the fact that when she
Can't you
doesn't want to
just
be
talk
pushed,
to
she
Maester
doesn't get
Seymour?
pushed.
You got to marry him?
See, nobody thinks this is a good idea. Nobody.
But I think it is the right thing to do.
Okay, I guess.
Uni. Quiet! I wish we could help somehow. Some way.
It's okay. I'll be fine.
We threw around this word fine,
She
and at
says
no
I'm
time does it
sorry.
mean
He
fine.
says it's fine. She's willing to face sin. She's privileged. I
And
didn't
that's the thing he doesn't understand,
But
is
somehow I felt like I didn't belong.
that being willing to
But
face
if I didn't belong
sin
with them,
as a
I'd
summoner
be stuck in
is
Spira,
rare,
alone.
and therefore
And being
confers
alone in
privilege.
that place, well, I I didn't want to think
because
about
it's really willingness to die facing Sin.
Next, we're going to Makalania Temple. Yuna can talk with Seymour there. We Guardians will wait until they're done and plan our next move. Understood?
Translation: that's when Auron is planning to have the talk about what to do about Yuna's sudden desire for holy matrimony. Yeah, Tidus, that's how everybody feels about this situation. Feels the conversation that they're all having that Tidus isn't back there, that makes him feel suddenly so alone, is the way being a summoner works. If you're willing to pursue a summoner's death, while you're alive, all of your wishes kind of take on the tenor of a dying person's last wish, and it's not exactly illegal, but culturally impossible to forbid you virtually anything. And that's a summoner's privilege. That as long as they're willing to continue to journey, anything that they qualify as a personal matter is under their absolute control. Even from their guardians, even from their family. Which to my mind explains a lot about Donna. Get back to somebody we haven't seen in a while. But that she makes much more sense if you think of it as getting access to resources and freedoms that you would otherwise never get access to. And like, sure, you're gonna die, but everybody dies. Most sooner rather than later. Riku's helping! Since I haven't seen any others of these light up, I think I'm done with them. If I'm not, I'll find out when I come back. Oh yay. It's these guys. Well, at least that one didn't run away immediately. I can grab a couple things off of it.
So, how shall we do this? Let me break the ice.
And of course it runs away right when it looks like I might be going to kill it. The thing with those is that if you succeed in killing them, you get some really nice stuff. They drop equipment and whatnot. But if you don't succeed in killing them, they run away and you spend your life deeply frustrated by the little fuckers. And happy to get back to these nice, normal things that will try to kill you. By the way, something I neglected to mention at the time because there were cutscenes going on, the travel agency we passed through is officially the Bilgen Memorial Travel Agency. So you can see that he's not completely forgotten. Just forgotten to Yevon, which, all Albert are forgotten to Yevon, it's a thing. Haha, 0 damage. Immune to lightning. And Tidus has learned Overdrive Mode Slayer, which takes your gauge up by like an entire 5th every time you kill something. It's pretty good, but the reason that I don't put it on him now is that if you're in a boss fight, Warrior you can hope to charge up again and have a second go. Slayer you're not going to because there's nothing to kill. Yes, target Tidus with all of your Thunder Elemental attacks. No, do not target Lulu for an extremely emphatic punch in the face. Ow. That was very close to being very bad indeed. Fortunately, by 51 HP, it was not the worst thing that could possibly occur. What do these guys have to steal? Oh, high potions. Yay. Honestly, the reason why getting hit by thunderbolts is annoying, or lightning bolts, technically, whatever. Getting hit by them is annoying because it knocks you back all that distance, and if you're not careful, you can get kind of locked, or can get driven back a long way if you get struck by lightning and then get into a fight and then get struck by lightning before you can make up the space. So it makes the thunder plains even longer than they ordinarily are. Which you have to admit is pretty impressive, considering how long they are to start with. Yay! Finally over that hill, which is one of those deceptively long hills, and out of the Thunder Plains. Have I mentioned how much I love the body language work they do in this game? You can see Riku's mood change just by the way she slowly comes out of her crouch, and then gets all bouncy and chipper. Yes, Riku, I'm happy to be out of there too. Unfortunately, there's another long walk ahead of us. But Auron wants to talk. Let's let Auron talk, it's so rare.
About Yuna.
Of course I'm worried about her.
Everyone's worried about her.
What is she thinking?
The simplest answer would be, in exchange for agreeing to marry him, she hopes to negotiate with Seymour.
Negotiate what?
I wonder.
One does not know, that's the
What,
trouble.
all by herself?
She's strong, but Seymour is the better negotiator.
And is unlikely to
Well
be
then,
quite as put
why don't
off
we do
by her
something
particular
about it?
brand of
Yuna
gentle
wants it
yet
this way.
steely-willed determination.
I just don't get it. Doesn't she trust us?
On the contrary, she doesn't want us caught up in whatever it is she's planning.
Oh, plausible deniability.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But that makes me worry even more. She could just tell us.
That's the way she is. She's naive, serious to a fault, and doesn't ask for help.
I wonder if she reminds him of himself.
You're probably right.
Yuna's easy to read.
Yeah, she is.
But hard to guard.
Easy
Stand
to
by her. Always.
see what she's planning. Not so easy to make it turn into a good idea.
Slowpokes!
Sorry. It's funny how calm I was. Maybe it was because I'd realized that Yuna wasn't marrying Seymour for love. Not really.
Finally, he clues in.
It was just her duty. Something she had to do before returning to her pilgrimage. That's what I kept telling myself anyway. And, well, maybe. I realized that Yuna and I'd never, Yuna,
Sure you wouldn't.
let's go.
Yes, let's. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next time.